All right, so we have our Tiny Pockets press. I believe that's the third screenshot preview, whatever, screencast of what's going on. A few things have gone on. A fun little thing is I add this little citation thing that I can change with different formats, but it's not really important, but it's there. The main thing you're going to see is this save button with the little button here or the little indicator. It says, hey, there's unsaved changes. There's also an undo button. So basically, if I say, if I add my suffix to my name, I can undo the history of how that was added. I can undo all changes since since I originally started changing this file, or the last time I saved the file. I can undo everything and revert it back to the last original save. If I go to library, you can see that the book is now in a draft mode. And if I save it, now if I go to library, it is no longer in a draft view. Um, I have added a lot of fields to the book info area and changed how the fields appear. Some of them will always be here, but there are a few that are you just add them on the fly. And I can remove them as well. So I can add one is a custom field. So I like to say foo. I'm going to call this field foo, and the value is bar. So we got foo bar. The other thing is I have a classification system I added. I wanted to add like Dewey Decimal or Library of Congress. And Library of Congress is very complex and hard to figure out how I would even start there. And Dewey Decimal, from what I understand, is kind of like a copyright or something, and it has a lot of issues that people are not happy with how it classifies some books, or some areas are heavily populated compared to others, or lean towards things. So I went ahead and just created my own little classification system that kind of works around some of that. Now, this is not meant for large libraries, not by the slightest. So, but I did try and make it a bit robust to have a broad number of categories. So I can go to top level, and I do have these 3-digit codes that I start out with, as well as these 3-character codes that go along with those numbers. The 3-character codes are unique in the core set of any 3-digit number. Now you'll notice I have a 000 for library and internal use, but I also have profiles for a home library, which that 000 goes away because it seems like maybe a home library does not need to know where to put manuals and policies and all kinds of documents. The other thing is I tried to put a flow to some of this of what felt like. So if you're in the art section, maybe architecture would be like make more sense being near art. So if these are laid out in front of you, it would kind of make sense of where stuff was. Except for fiction, I threw that at the very beginning because one thing I noticed is my public library has a ton of fiction. Uh, I'm trying to think if it's like just as much fiction as nonfiction, but I figured, okay, if there's so much fiction in a library, maybe it should be on its own, or just be in at the beginning or the end of all the other classifications. And since I'm having room for all the other classifications, I just threw it in the beginning at the 100 series. Um, because I jump every 50 digits, I only have 4 subcategories in each of these. So if I go to fiction, you'll notice I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why don't I have 0? I do have 0 right there. And for some reason, I went into 000 when I should have went into 100. So there's another thing going on with this is very buggy right now because I made a lot of internal changes under the hood, and I haven't gone through full regression testing to figure out what's going on and to address those issues. However, I do have a list of what I'm looking at. Let's just go to 100 directly. There we go. Fiction. I only have 4 items because item 0 is 100 for fiction itself. You can address an item directly to the parent category. So let's go to genre fiction, and all of a sudden we have lots more. I don't know why we only have 4 in each one. That feels weird. Did I change things around? Anyway, oh, see also is a good thing. So if I'm in general fiction, I might have a book with me. I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe this book does it really belong here or not? Well, I have the note to help you figure out if the book belongs there, but I also have like things that might help you lean towards a different direction. It's like, is this really an essay or is it fiction? This seems like it might not belong there. But I mainly just needed something to actually start populating and putting things everywhere. Let's see, slice of life. There are things here for extensions. So makerspace is an extension. There we go. So you can see the decimal there. There's also regional extensions. So if I have a .4, I could actually add another .127 for the region, Virginia. So .127 is Virginia. So it's United States Mid-Atlantic, and then you get to Virginia. So it's just a Shelfmark system that I've set up. All right, I've added a copyright page to this, although I sort of already had a copyright page, but now I'm making it more robust. So if I go to here, table of like this is the copyright page, or more of a title page, but here is the copyright page that I am working on. You can notice the classification is not set up properly just yet. There, we'll just get rid of that for now. Now I've got a lot of cards here and a lot of fields I can swap between. However, I started changing things around, and the front cover is where you can see how those changes started happening. And you can see the title, the author, although you can't really read that there right now. Where is that? I think that got removed. I can drag and drop things to get rid of them. There we go. We'll remove that. We can change the position, and we can add our custom field that we added to the book info area. And we can make that very, very big. And there we go. There's our B. Why is, oh, because it's cut off. Wait a minute. There we go. This is our text alignment that figures out what's going to happen when we wrap our text onto multiple lines. The width here gives us the amount of area we have for our text before it wraps. Right now, this is set up to clip. We can left align it, right align it, or center it. We can also justify it. The problem is, I was saying there's bugs. If I click this this little icon, it's not going to change at the moment. Maybe it will. Oh, but the icon itself does not change. There's another issue here with the rotation that does not toggle. This should change between 1 degree, 2 degrees, 5 degrees, 15 degrees, 45 degrees, and 90 degrees. It's not doing that right now. Another issue is I changed all these sliders, but you see this this text over top. It's just going to stay there when I let go. So I don't know why. So regression testing is fun. So under the hood, the rendering for this has been heavily optimized. So I can do this all day, and it is going to be like there is no sluggishness anymore. It renders very quickly, and there's nothing stopping the scrubber here from changing as well. The color pickers here, I've created a palette that also shows all the colors I've used on the book so far, so it's easier to like choose a new random color instead of having to copy and paste this hex color everywhere. I now have this, like, let's just say this color, this bright blue color. Now I can go here. Oh, there's the bright blue color. I can go here. There's the bright blue color. And I also order these colors by, I think it's hue, saturation, and luminance, so that they don't keep moving around on me based on like how often it's used or the first field that uses it. Instead, they're sorted by their color values. What else? I think that's good enough. I want to keep this semi. It's not that short. It's shorter than, I don't know. It's ready.